How's it going, Laser Bruce? Up? I'm Sixkilla and welcome back to Birth Me Code. Now, we had to take a break on this bottom path that we're doing at the moment. I'm thinking this might be the true ending we're heading towards, but I guess we'll find out. Let's get back into it, shall we? I had to re-explain the situation to them on the way out. By the time I was done, a lot of time had passed. I needed to repeat myself a few times so they understood. We weren't going to make it out without cooperating. Since I had to guide everyone to their room and have them answer on their own, I didn't trust them with remembering it with words alone. I took a few pieces of paper from one of the classrooms, along with a pen. A few minutes were all I needed to write the answers down, while carefully ripping the pages into a few squares. I folded them up and carried them alongside me. Finally, we were off for real. On the way there, I also asked for everyone's keycards. I had to count them to make sure we'd reach 24 by the end of it. We only had 6 for now. As I arrived at the staircase, something immediately jumped at me. Or rather, a lack of something jumped at me. We had no way in. Metal plates covered the top of the staircase, with 3 slots carved in them, like an ATM machine. Interesting. We don't have access to the voting booths at all. But how are we supposed to put in the cards? Maybe if we slid them through the 3 little slots? I didn't remember seeing those from the other side. What was their purpose? Are you sure that's what we're supposed to do with them? I know who you are, Marco. Don't worry. You're going down much like attain. I just need to secure a way out first. Yes. Either way, we don't have the me cards, so we'll have to split up a little. We should have access to Wing A right away. Wing A? Oh right, the one with all the classrooms. Didn't we just come out of that, though? I guess we have access to the rest. That's the only wing still standing, too. You remember, right? There was a terrorist attack on this school before. It was just before the exams, too. For once, I studied like mad, and then everything was put on hold. God damn it. Gula seemed more interested in heading toward the interior of the wing, instead of talking about that subject, so I followed her example. Let's go. If I remember correctly, the next classrooms are the bar and the warehouse, the office and the bedroom, the manor and the chapel. Wait a second. What are you talking about? A bar? A bedroom? A chapel? Yes. The classrooms are reconstructions. They're not all actually classrooms either. Each of them seemingly corresponds to someone in our group. I still have no idea how you know all this. Psychic powers, perhaps? I ignored his muttering to focus on the matter at hand, while all 9 of us moved to the interior of Wing A. Like me had said, there was no puzzle barring our way. For example, the office and bedroom corresponded to... Office and bedroom? What was the office and bedroom? I'm assuming Avaritia. No. What's important isn't the topic of the deduction room, but what's in it. Who's linked to the principal's office and steampunk bedroom? Gula. Gula. That's where you'll be going. The question you'll get in that room will be about what crime the principal committed. I gave her the piece of paper after pointing over to that door. Gula hesitated slightly, but encouraged by the fact she had the solution and pressured by the fact that everyone was waiting on her, she set off and entered on her own. The door locked after 24 seconds this time around. All of them changed to reflect the difference in me cards. The manor and chapel correspond to... Manor and chapel. Superbia. Look, I know you don't like being told what to do, but we really have to do this, or else we're going to surrender our right to live, and instead be left to die. Oh, I remember that now. The right to live. The opposite, when you surrender it, is to be left to die. Yeah, I don't care for it. I don't like it, and this game can go fuck itself. Superbia. We all want outs, so come on. Okay, fine, I'll do it. Just because that way it'll get me out too. Whoever designed all this can go suck a big one. While grumpy and moody, Superbia snatched the paper out of my hand for her answer. I didn't even have the time to tell her the question she had to answer before she vanished inside of the room. Alright, we got that one right straight away. Talk about a petulant child storming up to their room. Next is the duo of the bar and the warehouse. It corresponds to the bar and the warehouse. I don't know. He's going to be the reactor room. Luxuria's the love hotel. Era? Era, that's yours. Here's your answer. I held it out for him. It took a few moments to take it and head out to his room. Already? Damn, mine's in the first group, huh? I just wanted to stick around out of there longer. Guess I'll see you later. I hope he doesn't mess it up. He's kind of dumb. His voice vanished as he stepped into the room and the door closed behind him. Once again, I didn't have the time to tell him what the question he had to answer. Now I had to deal with the second trio of rooms, so I took the group further in. I wonder what's in my room. Probably some kind of roller coaster? Just judging by what you look like. Huh? Do I look like a roller coaster? Kind of. Though I'd say you're more of a mirror mansion type person. The only one who still wasn't sure of what was happening was Ancora. The girl was dragging her feet behind as if she really didn't want to go through this. This is weird. This is really weird. Why am I here? The murmured words found no answer. We finally stepped into the hallway, leading to the last three classrooms. See, I don't know what room she's going to have because we don't know anything about her. Unfortunately for me, I passed out at that moment. Oh, great. What's happening now? Are we hacking into someone else, or is this going back to us? Hey, Cora. Oh no. Got a minute to talk about something? Why are we Cora again? This is the ruined hallway. Why am I here? My initial thought was that I passed out and someone else carried me here, but that was clearly wrong. For one, the stairs had no metal plates blocking anyone's ascension. For two, Nvidia was talking to me. Or more accurately, to Ancora. This is Ancora's helmet. This is a vision of the first hacking session I remember. During that hacking session, I stopped monitoring Ancora's actions. All this time, I thought she merely rested against the wall. What's up? Did you find something? No, but I was thinking... You noticed it too, right? The strange S symbol on the me cards and behind our helmets? Yeah, that's been drawn all over the place. It's the Super S, right? Actually, people call it the Cool S. I don't actually see what's so cool about it beyond the fact that it's square instead of round, but anyway. Do you know how to draw it? No, I never really cared for it before today. First you draw 6 lines like this and 3 columns of 2. Then you connect the left and right lines together like this to form the top and the bottom of the S. And finally, you connect the middle like this. Now you have a cool S. Like everyone, I learnt that at school myself. What does this have to do with anything anyway? It's simple. People see it as a cool S, but I don't think that's right. You know something strange with the shape? It's a chain link. Ancora thought about it long and hard, but she didn't get what Nvidia was saying. I didn't either, to be honest. Look at how it was drawn. You only draw the outline of it, right? If you filled it up, it wouldn't resemble the letter S anymore, but it would just be some kind of blocky blob. Oh, you're right. But I still don't understand why this is important. I'm just saying that it suspiciously looks like an empty S to me. It's a shape that has no no filling in the middle. The kind of symbol doesn't appear on its own. I see. Anyway, I just thought that was cool. Heh. I'm gonna search the bathrooms to find a me card. He gave a wave and then disappeared within, leaving a stunned Ancora alone. So this is the meaning behind the cool S. The fact that it's an empty S. That's a little silly, but whatever. With the discussion over and the frequency shifted, I was sent back to consciousness. Good. Good. Are you okay? My head hurt. I slowly rose to my feet again. The last hallway. That's where I was. What was that previously? The vision? I rubbed my head. No, my helmet. I looked around myself. Everyone else was still there. I didn't know how much time had passed, but I was back at least. Yeah, I'm fine. I just passed out for a few minutes. But that's just what I think. How long has it been? Just that, a couple of minutes. We wondered if we had to continue alone or something. It took all my energy to keep the group together, so I hope you're thankful for that. Shut up, Traitor. I focused on my thoughts. I tried to remember what we were doing before I conked out. Right, we gathered me cards, and I was sending them to their rooms. The next classroom contained some me cards, as did the rooms in the corners, but I decided to deal with that after the classrooms themselves were solved. I knew we needed the keys in them. Okay, the next classroom is... Is it fair to call them classrooms? If they're not classrooms at all, then they shouldn't be called that. What difference does it make, dipshit? Does it matter that much? It just weirds me out how we're all in school, but there's a bar. And there's a bedroom, and a manor, and a chapel of all things too. Yeah, I'm also very confused as to what this place is. Are we even in the school anymore? Like, how can someone turn the school into that kind of thing? You need to be incredibly wealthy for that. Whatever it is, this empty S is the root of all our troubles. You know, empty S especially sounds similar to the word emptiness. It's just missing the N sound there. Are you saying my emptiness and that empty S thing share a connection? You think so? I thought about that too. Which brings me to my question. Did anyone here ever meet Pandora for real? The one from my emptiness? No, I haven't. Avaritius spoke for the first time in what felt like an hour. Maybe it had been an hour. I was surprised by that fact. Anyway, it wasn't like her to remain silent for that long. Perhaps being kept on her toes due to me revealing myself as Pandora got her tired, which is an advantage I'd push as much as I could. I haven't either. And Cora visibly hesitated when the topic shifted to Pandora. It was as though she was reticent, since she might say something she would regret. It was always just messages. Though I'm new to my emptiness, so I didn't know really. Yeah, just messages and directives. Like who was the next target for something. A silence settled as everyone thought about it. No matter how they spun it though, it wouldn't change anything. Ugh. The more I think about Pandora, the more my head hurts. Let's just go for the next classrooms already. No objections here. Very well. The next classroom will be on our right, I think. This one is a duo that's pretty much the same for both of them. It's a reactor, twin pair of reactors. I paused a little as though a realization made me think about it for a little bit. A twin pair of reactors, a twin pair of reactors. Twins. What about twins? Is there something you want to say about that? No, just thinking. Anyway, let's see. About that place. The reactor rooms are for Traitor. Yeah, that one might have been a bit of a guess. Other than the fact that he seemed awfully familiar with those rooms, Traitor didn't give any outer sign of relating to them. Yeah, his dad was a scientist, or something in one of those things. It's your room, Traitor. Here is the answer. The question you'll have to answer is... But no word came out of my mouth. I tried to speak in it. I knew it was, what is your true enemy? But no matter what, I couldn't say it. I can't say it. I don't know why, but I can't. Either way, you'll be told inside. And remember to say the phrase, asking to be let out before the answer too. Yes, I remember. You should worry more over the others. I don't forget anything. That's debatable. Either way, it seems I skipped a classroom while going to this one. It's on the left. As Traitor vanished inside, I guided the group to the other one. This one was the stars room. The astrology and greenery rooms are for... I don't know. I really don't. Nvidia? Okay, so it's Ancora. Ancora, that's yours. Here's your answer to the room. The girl didn't look very trusting of me. Maybe my sudden passing out had eroded what trust I'd built with the others. I had to make good show of trust to win them back. While Ancora hesitated, I decided to write more about the directives. I filled out the entire page with every step she needed to take. This is the greenhouse, right? I hate the colour green. I can't see it too well. Colourblind? Yeah, I was hoping nobody would find out. I think it'd be fine anyway. It's not really green that's important. And besides, I wrote you an extended walkthrough. I handed it over to her. She finally, yet still reluctantly, took it. There you go. This one has some colours in it, so you'll definitely need this note. And the question you have to answer is, what are the keys? The keys. I guess I have no choice but to trust your answer, because I have no idea what those are. Ankura hesitated again. I looked at her, and after another minute, she entered the room. I don't like Ankura now that we're not her. She irritates me. After the door closed and locked, I looked at everyone else. The remaining people with me were Avaritia, Invidia, and Luxuria. Maybe the next will be mine. I can't wait to see what's in there. What's going to happen to the remaining 3 of us? Are there not enough classrooms? Why would some of us be singled out? Honestly, I don't really know. There are only 6 classrooms, other than the starting ones. Maybe... Is it possible the starting ones were the classrooms meant for the 3 leftover participants among us? Of course I know. It's because attain and Marco were never meant to be real participants, isn't it? We arrived at the final door, on the left. Just like me had said, every door so far had become unlocked. No puzzles, no locks, nothing. Perhaps the doors that barred our access to the extra me cards were also unlocked. If that was the case, I'd send everyone to them post-haste after this. Maybe that's why we had 3 leftover individuals. The final room is... I didn't really want to say it. I'll let you find out for this one. The corresponding participant is... Luxuria. It's the Love Hotel. You, Luxuria, the question you'll have to answer is... Who are the 2 characters participating in this test? I gave him the paper, though this time it was me who was reluctant. I hadn't forgotten his true nature, and how, now that I thought about it, it made sense for him to have the Love Hotel room. I have no idea who those people might be. To be honest, I don't know either. I don't think anything beyond their name is important. Much like everyone else, he reluctantly opened the door. This is a big mess. I forgot about that part. When the room will have started, just scream help and the door will unlock, so you can go further inside. Lucky you told him before he went in. As the diminutive boy entered the room and the door closed and locked, I wondered if I shouldn't have given him more directives. Shouldn't have given more directives to everyone. They would probably be fine. So I quieted my thoughts. Except Era. Because he's an idiot. Instead of pursuing that thought, I did something more productive. I opened the door in the corner, which, as I'd guessed, was unlocked. Okay. Attain and Marco. I caught myself and corrected their names before I said them out loud enough for them to hear it. I didn't want to squander the element of surprise. Avaritia and Invidia were out of classrooms. This means our starting ones were our rooms. I don't know, but I know other me cards are scattered around too. Spread out and look into every classroom, and even these emergency exit rooms. I pointed at the corner. The 2 of them shrugged. Alright, that's fine by me. How many me cards are we supposed to find? Let's see. The starting rooms had 6 in total, then there's 1 in each classroom, so you have 12 by the end. Meaning around this place there are 12 more scattered about. Fudge nuggets. I forgot about the one in the secret room. The secret room? It's used to leave, I think. Even though all that's there is just another deduction room. I frowned inside of my helmet. How are we meant to get that one? Avaritia and Invidia sure are playing dumb, even though it's just us 3. Surely they must have realized I unlocked the box. That was a big deal, I think. Thinking about the box gave me an uneasy feeling. I focused on the immediate task instead. I guess I'll bother over that one later. Let's split up. Since all 3 of us were in agreement, we split up accordingly. Avaritia would search the classrooms in the second area, Invidia would search the ones in the third, and I'd search everything in the beginning area. So far so good. Everything is going smoothly. Passing through the split in the hallway, I looked over the other doors. Strangely, no one had emerged from their rooms yet. Did I send them to their deaths without realizing it? No, they have the answers. They'll be fine. I need to stop worrying over this. It's just... I feel like if I mess up this time, there's no coming back. Yeah, that's the problem. I wasn't looking around with my full focus, admittedly. I was looking into the general area, but I didn't remember exactly where the me cards were. I found one around a bench, one in the bathroom. That made 3 of them. I thought it was strange only to have 3 here, so I looked around for a fourth one. I realized it was the one behind the secret entrance. I came up to it. On the way there, something else caught my attention. There was the metal plate that blocked our way to the voting machines. which is strange slots that felt like they could fit. I put one of the me cards I gathered in each slot, and the secret entrance slid away on its own. But why? Maybe it was set to open much like how the previous wall around the voting booths had vanished once we put all 9 of our me cards inside the consoles. This one simply opened with 3 instead. 3 and 9 again, huh? Come to think of it, why 39? It was a rhetorical question I asked myself. I couldn't answer it. Maybe I'd pick up the habit of talking to myself from Ancora. It wasn't just me anymore. I was us, after all. All of us here. I was carrying a part of everyone in the form of information in my head. Maybe it meant just like someone had said. In Japanese, 3 and 9 were san and kyu. Together they formed sankyu, or thank you. But why is it a thankful message? Who was saying it, and who was it addressed to? I pushed the door open to move forward. Just like I'd guessed, the me card was right there. The small room was bland and bare, just like I remembered it. The only thing of note was the key slot for the G key. I picked up the me card from the ground, and I left the area. There was nothing else for me to do here, but once I was outside in the crossroads, I hesitated. I remembered something from not too long ago. I need to get to the bottom of this feeling. It's the box. Its meaning is still obscure. I took place upon a bench, sitting down and crossing my arms. I needed to figure out what this meant, no matter what. And the first thing I was going to ask myself was, who am I? I repeated the question in my head. I could see it as clear as day again in my head, the words engraved in the block of cement contained inside the box. I'm Pandora. Why would the box, which took this much work to get the code to open it, ask me who I am if it's just that simple? And was the question even addressed to me? I uncrossed my arms to look at my hands. I turned them over, finding nothing wrong with them. Despite that, the sight fascinated me to some degree. I remained there, thinking about who I was for a while. Other than Pandora, I couldn't remember any other name. Ancora? No. That's not me. I'm Pandora. Well, that's really a nickname. I know that fact. What's my name then? What's my real name? How can I figure that out? I left the bench to instead head back to the first hallway. The group hadn't come out yet, and the halls were eerily silent. I was supposed to meet with the 2 others, but they could wait. Something in me bothered me so much that I couldn't live with that feeling if I didn't have it crystal clear. Upon examining the classrooms, I saw the doors were still unlocked. Did they no longer count as deduction rooms? Were they ever deduction rooms, if we never had to give an answer to leave them? I slipped into the 3rd classroom. The one Era, Avaritia and Tristidia investigated. It looked exactly like the other 2. I looked around and spied the bookcase. Superbia had figured out these books were a fake. I picked one up. Or rather, I tried to, but as Superbia had made clear, with what felt like so long ago, the books were fake. They all fell off the shelves together. It was like a block of plastic, and it was very light. I froze at that thought. Something felt wrong. I was on the verge of understanding something completely outrageous. It was very light. Very light. It was on the tip of my tongue. I looked around and noticed the box again. The box was very light. That's right, I could lift the box. Can I lift this one? I tried. It was light, much like the other. I hesitated, looking upon the keypad, where I could enter the earlier password again. Ultimately, I went for it. When the password was entered, the box opened like the other one in the other room. Inside was a block of concrete. And it had also been light, much like the other box. Concrete is not light. Concrete is heavy. That's what I knew. But it was light. And others couldn't lift it either. I peeked at the block of concrete. The question was engraved into it too. It says, "Where are you?" Which is a question I can answer. We're in the Hyacinth Delorme Polyvalent High School, so the question is different based on which box is opened. I had a bad feeling about the last box. Something in me wanted to know what the question was, but I was suddenly terrified. I couldn't even explain why I was terrified. It was just an ice-cold feeling climbing up from my chest, spreading throughout my body, through my arms and legs, my neck, swirling through my head, enrapturing my brain and suffocating my lungs. I needed to know. I needed to ignore it. I didn't need anything. I needed everything. Each of my steps suddenly felt heavier than the last. I was going for it. I left this classroom. Back in the hallway. Back in the very first classroom I'd seen. The one that started it all. The box was still there. Alone. Waiting for me to unlock it. I swallowed uneasily. A clump had built in my stomach, as if it was trying to weigh me down from unlocking it. I couldn't describe the kind of anticipation I was feeling, even if I tried. But I felt fear in equal measure. Pandora was opening the boxes. In the myths of Pandora, she opened the box which let out all the bad things in the world, or something like that. She immediately closed it, but it was too late. All that was left was hope, alone in the box. Except that's a mistranslation. In reality, it's Pandora's jar, not Pandora's box. Also, the tale changes depending on who says it. However, one thing was crystal clear. When I opened that box, my entire world would change, and yet, this wasn't a choice. I had to do it. Maybe my entire existence had led up to this moment. I took a breath. I took a step. I took the box. I lifted it as easily as the others. And then, I unlocked it. The side slid with a metallic noise. That noise would etch itself into my mind for all time as I stared at the block of concrete, finally finding what I'd been looking for all this time. What are you? The question is asking me what I am. I'm a human. I'm Pandora. I'm in the Hyacinth Delorme Polyvalent High School. I'm a human. I had to answer the question aloud. This existential dread. If the answers were so simple, why were there questions for me? Are you sure about that? His presence made me scream. I turned around in surprise and tripped, falling down to the ground. The nearby bookshelves dropped their contents under the tremors. Why am I so heavy? Why can I lift the boxes so easily? Oh my god, we're a robot. Why is Nvidia here? Wait, this is Marco, right? Are you sure you're Pandora? Are you sure you're in the Hyacinth Delorme Polyvalent High School? Are you sure you're a human? He was watching me from close by. He came closer. I passed out under the pressure. What are the answers to these questions? Did I say username? I didn't know how much time had passed. I was out cold, and there was nothing I could do about it. Instead, as my body was useless, I brought my thoughts to the questions that terrified me. Who are you? Where are you? What are you? It was an introspective moment. I thought perhaps I wouldn't wake up until all of those had been answered, and so I thought long and hard. Let's assume the questions are asked because the answers I believe in are wrong. These questions are only meant for the person who found the code to unlock the boxes as well. In short, they are very much made for me, and only me. I'll start by determining who I am then. All of those questions are difficult to think about, so I'll just pick the one I found first. My name is Pandora. That's what I figured, but it seems that's wrong. I can't remember another one. So far, I've heard many names in my time here. Alex, Etienne, Nico, Annie, Aurelie, Attain, Mark, Marco, Lucille, Anne, and Sally. In total, those are 11 names. The two that don't belong are Attain and Marco, because they're the real names of the two behind all this. However, two others that don't belong are Anne and Sally. They're only the names of the imagined people in the Sally-Anne test and nothing more. Alex is Era, Etienne is Tristidia, Nico is Luxuria, Annie is Superbia, Aurel and Mark are supposedly Avaritia and Nvidia, even though Attain and Marco correspond to them, and Lucille is Gula. Ancora is unknown, and we have no name for Pandora. If we assume Aurel and Mark are Avaritia and Nvidia's true names because they came of those apparitions, which definitely couldn't lie compared to a real person, that means we have Attain and Marco in extra along with Anne and Sally, but I don't believe those two names are really significant, as I already established. That is stupid. I can't be named Marco, I definitely am not a man either. Come to think of it, Attain's full name was Attain Ecofilm. Her last name sounds more like a movie company. It's almost as if her name was an anagram. Have I erred all this time? I can't make heads or tails of the anagram though. I'm generally extremely good at this, but I just can't compute it right now. What about you? Do you have an idea? It's okay if you don't. I wouldn't blame you. I'm this close to remembering something. I suppose that question will have to be answered later. I don't know why Aurel said her name was Attain. Was it to guide me? This entire line of thinking feels so absurd. Let's skip to the second question. I'm in the Hyacinth Delorme Polyvalent High School. No, that's wrong too. There's a question because it's wrong. Where am I? I think I can't answer that one either. No matter how much I think about it, nothing comes to mind. We could be anywhere. But why would someone go to such lengths to replicate the school? Replicating. The rooms being replicated belong to most of the participants. If they could replicate those rooms, then replicating the whole school wasn't too difficult. They only needed to replicate parts of it anyway. We don't have access to wings B, C, or D. And then there's the incomplete crossroads and the secret room, which I don't think was part of the school. At least, we can conclude that we're not in the Hyacinth Delorme Polyvalent High School. I know I'm going in circles. I want to avoid the final question. I want to avoid it because my current assumption is that everything I believe was wrong. I'm not Pandora, that's a codename, even though it's the only name I can realistically recognize myself as. I'm not in the Hyacinth Delorme Polyvalent High School. And I'm not human. If I'm not human, then what am I? I can't be an alien. I know English. I feel like a human. I can talk, I can think, I can deduce, I can imagine. I can't dream. I'm supposedly passed out right now, but I'm conscious. Having psychic powers like the horse stupidly theorized is most likely not an array of abilities that I do have. That seems wholly unscientific. Then am I a robot? A clone? A replicated person? That seems the last possible choice. It's outrageous to think about. It makes me feel cold and empty. But it's probably the truth? A robot or a clone, or both. Once again, that thought is fastidious, but inside of me, I know it to be true. I'm heavy and overly strong, like a machine. I'm Pandora, but not the Pandora from my emptiness. I'm not in the Hyacinth Delorme Polyvalent High School. I'm a robot, a construct, a replicant, not human. But wait, if I'm a replicated entity, then what? Suddenly, a girl appeared. It was me. That's right. I am me. You are you. My full designation is I-Me-Lee. Again, an acronym. LY means love you. Love like the French word ami, or ami. AI, which is the Japanese word for love. To love me and love you. I'm glad you could arrive at those conclusions yourself, with nothing but 3 questions. You've surpassed everything I thought. And there's no need to fret, me. I'm me, but you're actually me too. Actually, you're the result of the equation E equals mc squared. It is the equation of mass-energy equivalence. It is also one meaning that you, codename Pandora, are the main cephaloself? I don't know what that word is. Number 2, or the main character. In this instance, me stands for machine extension, or ex machina, of its official designation, which is a construct for deus to inhabit. You're a deus ex machina, literally. I don't know who the main cephaloself number 1 is supposed to be. Our creator left that hidden. But I know you're not the last one, since there are over a dozen planned ex machinas. Our creator? And you're me. What's this stuff about machines? I'm not directly you. I'm still separate. In that instance, we're a bit like twins. However, I don't have my body anymore. See, my body, or my previous self's body, was shut down by Lucille and Nico. I'm the one who was beheaded in most of your attempts through this. However, that body will now be recycled and used for another purpose, since it's a proper ex machina designated for use in Project D-Forge, of which I know nothing but the name. As for how you could connect with everyone to get their life story, you built trust with them, didn't you? What does that have to do with anything, though? Trust is an acronym. It stands for Television Relay Using Small Terminals. Everyone's helmet contained their information in the form of a code. When you built trust, the signal to give you that information could be caught by your helmet. This only happened when it was 99% compatible, and not 100%, since there's always a degree of interference, and only when the helmet shut down, so when they died. This is insane. And last but not least, you, like me, are an AI. We are constructs fabricated by our creator, the empty S. We are memories. Me stands for ourselves. Mori, meaning death in Latin, and S stands for empty S. Thus, memories. The body you have doesn't really exist either. It's a construct. A prototype. Even if you lose it, you still stay conscious. Why is that? That is because I'm not my body. Congratulations. You are in fact not your body. Not yet at least, but it will come later, don't worry. Although, it may not be you, but another you. Right now you are the helmets. I felt sick. That was most likely just a program reaction though, because I didn't have a body right now. It was not functioning. All I had was my mind, my program, my self. Yet I still felt cold, sick and unwell. There's no need to fret me. I was the helmets? All this time? I was never my own self? I was the helmets. Helmets everyone wore. That was me? That was Pandora? Please calm down. You're still yourself. But I was also everyone. I had everyone's data. Their names, their age, their social security number, even. I had everything. I was nothing but memories and information. I was everyone, and not me. If you don't calm down, you'll erase yourself. Erase myself? I was going to erase myself? To be gone. After all this work, all this life, I would just be gone. Your top priority is leaving this place. I can't accompany you. I will be erased. You can still live if you play your cards right, but I won't exist anymore after we're done talking. That's right, I will die the cleanest death. But if you stay alive, you can oppose them. You already have allies. Allies? Me? Who? The ones you call Attain and Marco are your allies. They too want to stop the empty S. Please work with them. If you don't, then I will be erased for no reason. The animals you have with you, sorry, the humans, they aren't very cooperative in general. They can all come out alive of this though. Where there's life, there's hope. Isn't that right? Hope. Heh. I opened Pandora's box and in the end, now there's hope. Irony at its finest. Perhaps it was meant to be all along. This is the final time you and I will speak together. Wait, please, tell me. What's my true name? Where am I? Error. I cannot answer those questions. You'll have to figure it out by yourself, I think. Please help these animals, humans, reach their conclusion. After that, you should be meeting with someone very important. The meeting will determine reality. To cast away fiction is to reveal the real. Wait! I don't want you to go. We're like family, right? I have to go. Sorry. Your body will be reactivated in just a few minutes, but there's one more thing you have to see right now. Everyone is ready in the secret room. You are this close. Please escape for me and save everyone. Please escape and save him. Him? What do you mean him? Who is that person? Tell me. By then she'd already disappeared. Our talk was over, and so was me's existence. Okay, we're going to have to wrap this one up here because we are out of time for today, but we'll bring you back to this path very shortly. Until then, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.